That we bring in former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, a Fox News contributor. Secretary, great to have you with us, as always. So what would this mean in terms of our military relationship with Ukraine? And what would it mean for the war? How would it change the war, where we're seeing a lot of missiles coming in all over the country over the last several weeks from Russia?
Yeah, Martha, this is a big deal. It's something, frankly, in my judgment, should have been done a long time ago. You describe it exactly right. It is the Patriot defense systems. It is not an offensive weapon system. It poses no risk to Vladimir Putin or to Russia. It poses a capability, it presents a capability to the Ukrainians to stop ballistic missiles, short-range ballistic missiles, and some of the drones that are coming in, and aircraft as well. It'll protect civilian populations. That's what it was really designed to do. And we ought to have provided, and we should continue to do it. We should make sure that the Europeans are doing their part. They have systems as well that are compatible with this. They should provide those as well. But to refuse to defend the Ukrainian energy grid, to defend the Ukrainian civilians, thousands and thousands of them have been killed by Vladimir Putin, this is something that is well past its time, and it will restore deterrence in a way that defensive capabilities always do.
You know, it reminds me, the NATO countries along that Russia border have had these missile defense systems, and it's been a thorn in the side of Vladimir Putin. I remember back to the Obama administration when he was talking to Medvedev, and he said, you know, I'll have a little bit more room to negotiate on that after my election. And they were talking about defensive systems along the Russian border in NATO countries. So now if we provide this to Ukraine, which is not a NATO country, I guess, you know, how do you read into what Putin's response to that would be?
Well, I hope his response will be rational, which would be to say this isn't an attempt to invade Russia. This was his original claim, Martha, was that Russia was under threat from NATO, that somehow we were attacking him. This poses no threat to any Russian that's inside of their own borders. It simply defends the Ukrainian population. When I was secretary, we provided these weapon systems to non-NATO countries too. We presented these weapon systems with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Emiratis, who were under aggressive threat from Iranian attacks, from ballistic missile attacks that had come in from Iran. They were defensive weapons. They provided deterrence, and that's what the Biden administration has missed. We deterred Vladimir Putin for 4 years. He then invaded Europe on their watch. If you're strong, if you're capable of helping your partners, your allies, who haven't asked for our soldiers, they've just asked for our equipment, if we do that, and NATO and Europe do their fair share, we can restore the deterrence that will matter not only to the Ukrainian people, not only to Europe, but to Americans as well.
I'm going to, try to squeeze in two quick questions here. So how effective will it be? Will this stymie Putin's offense?
It's a very effective system. It's decades on with multiple stages of improvement along the way. I don't know what level of capability we will provide to them, but it's a good system that will stop a significant number of Vladimir Putin's attacks.
Okay. And what about the extra U.S. military personnel on the ground? You heard that question. Are we sending troops to to Ukraine? Obviously, this is a huge issue. And they're saying they might send troops to track the weapons.
Boy, there's lots of ways to track those weapons without sending American uniformed military personnel. I think that would be a mistake. I hope they'll choose not to do that. Send what the Ukrainians have asked for, the tools to defend their own sovereignty and to defend Europe and the West.
Secretary Pompeo, thank you. Thank you, sir. Always good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Martha. Have a good afternoon.
You bet. You do.